Good, Kev. All right, Perth preview. Got Toby and Kev along. Belmont, bit of rain around this week. What are you expecting with the track
A,
conditions,
a
Toby?
lot of rain around. I've been
Mm,
told, and it certainly feels like we're a big chance of not making it through the meeting. Perth Racing put up a post on X yesterday that basically was just a cautionary. We're a chance of not making it through the meeting, which to me means they think they're in big danger. So I also think they're in big danger, but still done the meeting anyway because there's every chance they just move it to Monday or something. I think that would make a bit of sense. Anyway, in summary, in terms of a pattern, I would just wait and see. In terms of what the likely conditions are, I'd say quite heavy.
mm.
Yeah.
10-meter rail. How's that played recently when there's been a bit of weather around?
We don't get out to the 10-meter rail very often. It's sort of the widest part of the track that's used for the Saturday meetings at Belmont. But yeah, with the weather around it, it can just do
Yeah,
anything. So it's just wait and see all the time for me on these tracks, and it's why I tend not to bet early unless there's anything that seems like really big value.
yeah, correct. Kev, any opinion?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I'd say early it could be a little bit favouring those on speed, and then as the meeting goes on, it's just going to degrade quickly. Like there's at least 25 mil coming tomorrow, so it could get
Well,
ugly.
the bomb tries to be very precise. They've gone for anywhere between 10 and 35.
Love an each way bet the bomb.
They give themselves a little bit of wiggle room.
Good from the
All right,
bomb.
let's crack on to it.
Yeah.
Race one over the 1400, 3-year-old set weights and penalties race. Bondi Bay, the Pike $2.80, Timeless Gen 370, Shane Bay 460, Another Love 650. I had 3 bits of speed, potentially looking for the front. Another Love, Battle Commander, and Timeless Gem. How are you seeing it?
Yeah.
You want me to kick off, Toby? Do you want me to kick off,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Go on,
you can tell me if I'm wrong? Yeah.
That's perfect.
All right. I think we'll start off with Bondi Bay. I think it warrants favouritism off his 3 runs this prep, gets the weight swings on all the main dangers. Most importantly, he gets Pike on the soft draw. I think he could potentially settle a couple of pairs forward. I think that could either play against him or play in his favour. Timeless Gem, we mentioned 2 weeks ago, Toby, was big win on debut, went deep the trip, albeit in a slow time. Next start, he's come out and run second to Glasgow Lass. I think that's pretty good form. Albeit she did that in first gear. Like, that was an absolute trial from her. I'm interested to hear your opinion, Toby, on him at 1400. I suspect he'll probably go to the breeze and try and kick into the bend, probably roll off. The other one that spiked interest is down at the bottom of the page at an each way quote is Arcadia Park. Whilst concerning that Pike's hopped off and goes to the favourite, Troy's dumped and goes to Arcadia Park.
I'm thinking that's William making the choice, or Dale Verhagen, his manager, for him. But really interesting.
It is.
Even that Troy's being dropped from Bondi Bay, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was.
He'd done anything wrong.
No, it was a big run last start as well. Had him to pretty much loop the field as well. So it's a bit stiff, but look, the Grantham Yard's absolutely airborne. Debut for Arcadia Park was on a bottomless track at Pinjarra. And I think with natural improvement, he's a New Zealand bred gelding out of Ocean Park who, from what I could find, goes at 30% winners to runners on soft and heavy tracks. So I don't think the conditions of the day is going to be too unfavourable for him. And I think Arcadia Park could run a pretty good race at good odds.
Yeah, last start sectionals for Thomas Gem suggested he can do the 1400. Toby, what are you saying?
I thought it looks like we'll go 1400 and probably even a mile. It looks like if he continues to progress, they would stretch him towards the Guineas. I don't think they have the same opinion of him as they do of Elite Missile, but I think that's probably what their plan would be at this stage. Looks like you go 1400 to me. Will likely have to be in OSL at worst. I thought Bondi Bay, like Kev said, I think he's right this time. Deserves favouritism with Pike going on. The win at Pinjarra was really good. Then last start was interesting. Troy Turner on radio said he thought he got to the front a bit early in the win, and the horse stargazed a bit, and then he took off early last up. But I think it was sort of a double-edged sword for him. I think he had to go because the leaders were starting to really creep away from the pair behind them. It was just unfortunate that he's ended up carting in the horse that's beaten him on the line. I think Pike is that more, well, he's a more patient rider. Not that Troy wouldn't have been if he had the option, but is a more patient rider and probably gets the opportunity to be more patient with a couple of just a better field that'll all take him into the race. I think Timeless Gem, probably your danger. He's been really good at 2 starts this prep. I thought Bondi Bay's run, but when beaten by him, both of them first up, I thought Bondi Bay's was a little bit better for different reasons, sort of just didn't get a lot of momentum at the right time. And Another Love beat GG Pops on debut, who came out and won quite well yesterday in the worst part of the track. So, and looks your leader. So if that is the place to be, which you won't know for race 1, could run a race.
That's good. Race 2 of the 1,000. We've got Ginnivan, $2.30, Songer, $3.60. One of the most interesting yard horses for me on the day, Sophia's Symphony for Pike, $5, double figures the rest. Ginnivan, Some Sport, and Ain't No Other Man for me were your speed in the race. Kev, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think this is a great 5 furlong race. I think Ginnivan pretty much holds all the keys. Leaders on a sticky track over the short course are very beneficial, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the small field suits him better than it does Songer, who was ridden out of his comfort zone last start, being a bit more forward. And I don't see that changing too much. Like, what is there? There's only 7 in the race.
But he's drawn 7, so I thought he would be able to just go back to the back.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that as well, but like last start, he jumped pretty well, and Holly decided to push him forward a little bit. To be fair, though, I thought he probably should have won. But I think, from the inside gate, Ginnivan jumps, run, kicks, holds on. He's a mutter. Just 230 in a field that's got quite a bit of depth. Depends what you want to
do. Toby?
I thought Ginnivan and Songer were. It's hard to work out because I'm so pro leaders in these 1,000-meter races, especially at Belmont. But Songer beat him like he was stuck to the ground 2 starts ago, and meets him on the same weights. Gets a similar map in the sense that he'll be about as far away from him, but he'll be last instead of midfield. And Ginnivan got there pretty easy that day. I was a bit worried he might not cross in terms of his chances, but he got there pretty easy, and then he was running along, but he didn't cop a great deal of pressure. With Some Sort, Ain't No Other Man, I think he cops pressure this time. Not that I think he can take it, but I thought he and Songer were probably should have been a little bit closer together, just with Songer. But it's hard given their SPs. Like Ginnivan started $3 that day, where Songer started 21. So the SPs could see them start a bit further apart than maybe they're entitled to. The other runner, obvious, interesting runner, is Sophia's Symphony. She was really good in the Bowfine to run 3rd after basically having to leap over the ill-fated Nero Dio.
Yes.
RIP. But she was scratched with a hoof soreness a couple of weeks ago and now has concussion plates going on. I just couldn't possibly back her, but you've got to respect her in any markets you make, but certainly couldn't back her with that being the case. Thought the rest of them would be struggling unless they could cross Ginnivan early.
Race 3 of the 1,400 had it was a long price. Captain Pluto first up, wasn't it, for a stay that can sprint well fresh? It's nowhere near that price here. $2.60, Two Darty $3.90, Diam $6, Buckets Ridge $7.50. Speed, I had Savage One and Corn Cob going forward, potentially one out wide. It's not seeing the price you saw first up, but it's pretty hard to see any of them turning the tables on it, isn't it? Sort of come through that lead-up race.
Yeah, look, this gives me PTSD from a fortnight ago, this race. I think, to be truly honest, I'm not willing to take 260 about Captain Pluto after he's resumed at, like you said, over $15 first up. Whilst, he absolutely walked in. I'm to be honest, I'm going to side with Tudati again. He sucks me in again. He gets back down in the weights, which I think suits. He maps soft again, and he's becoming an expensive commodity for me. But I think I'm happy to give him another crack just based on their SPs from last start. It's a bit of an emotional bet, but Tudati. I think Tudati can do something tomorrow.
Sticking very loyal. I guess the other knock with Captain Pluto's staying at the 1400 second up as well. It's a little bit of a query for me.
Yeah, it depends what they
Toby?
want to do with him this prep, I suppose.
Yeah, I listened to the interview too because I thought he would go to a mile. Things like that, I like to listen to what the trainers have to say in their interviews. And she said that they have trained him a bit differently this time, but they're still thinking of getting him to the staying trips just maybe a bit slower. I thought that was really interesting because I thought with a few of their horses that they tried staying with that they got in their first preps and tried to get out to staying trips. I thought some of them they'd worked out just didn't do it. I thought he might have been one of them because he just went to a new level there. He's run the second quickest last 200 split for the day behind Under Influence.
Yeah.
So and he was eased down at the line at 1400. That's just insane. And it's hard to take 260 after he's started 17 last start and won, but it's really hard to see any of them turning the tables, even if he has to go up 2.5 kilos comparatively to the rest of the field that he met there.
I think there's also an argument that SP was just wrong, wasn't it?
I
mean, in hindsight, it's pretty easy, but
to an extent, I don't think if he produced the same first up run as he did the prep before, I don't think he certainly doesn't kill them like that. Anyway, I don't think he'd done anything last prep to say that he could come out and absolutely smash that field like he did. The other question is, can he reproduce it second up? I say yes. I trust Grant and Alana to do that, but just wait and see what the track does. I don't think it's a price where you have to absolutely launch in early, but hard to see any of the others really.
Race 4 of the week races on the day with 1,000. We've got Silver Eye, short price favourite, $2.30. Cessation, $6. Sky Duke and Elite One, $8. $10 Indie Ruler. Had a fair amount of speed in this race, Toby. Most of it drawing wider gates. How have you got them?
Lots and lots. Thought Indie Ruler would cross. He's very quick. Thought Sky Duke would be the second one there. Becomes interesting from there whether he elects to hold that position if forces like Bisector and Cessation really come out hard at him. I think if he did relent and took the 1-1 trail, it'd make it harder for Silver Eye, who probably then is 1 out 2 back in a race that could get quite messy. I think there'll be a 3-wide line. If he's buried away in the middle of the field over 1,000 metres, it's hard over the short course, but he's been really, really good. As far as West Speed Platinums go, this is about as strong as they get. Like Cessation actually has a future. Silver Eye looks to have a future. There's a few horses that actually look to have futures here. I thought Silver Eye was a deserving favourite, but hard to come in at the 215 because I think there is a good chance having Sky Duke got to the front and sort of just wanted to lie down a bit the last 2 starts, whether they elect to take that trail, it just makes it that bit harder for Silver Eye to really want to launch in at the price. In saying that, I think the rest of the field is even enough. When in doubt for me, back the leader. Indie Ruler swims, probably leads. If it's suiting though, like getting out wider on the track, he lays out anyway quite badly. He's been sent back to trials twice. He's Luke Fernie's nightmare horse in that regard, but he goes all right. He's sort of probably the least progressive of them as the now 5-year-old, but I think he's got enough ability to win this from the front if it was playing that way. And a few of them back in the field cop some luck issues.
Yeah, I completely agree. I couldn't get myself to take the 215, 220 about a horse that, whilst its form jumps off the page and look, sure, it's getting closer to a win, but I just think it seems to find one better every time. And, the race he's come out of behind Sentimental Bell was run like 5 lengths above average. So I feel like they'll probably come for it again.
It's like, again, they've straighted third and got beat by a really progressive one.
Yeah. I don't know about the back to 5 furlongs as well. I've got a question mark on that for Silver Eye. Did you have any query on the 1,000?
Minor query just mid prep after 3 1200s, but he's won at 1,000 before and was really good at 1,000 first up behind Joker's Grin. But again, just another thing that put me off taking 215.
Yeah.
I thought this was a really good race to get involved in the pink button. I think this is a great race, Silver Eye. I can't believe it's this short. I do have a big problem with coming back to 1,000 metres at this stage of its prep. You've touched on how messy the race might be, Toby, and this horse just does a stack of things wrong. Still wants to lay in, lay out. It's never even done the peak rating that's sort of required to win this race, and you've got 4 others from their last start that rate higher than it. I'd say it blows on the day. Race 5 of the 2,200. It's a fairly open race. Queen of Jerusalem 420, Emerald Trader 460, Strike Now, and Filthy Habits 650. I don't like looking at that horse, Filthy Habits. Extra Revs and Candlelight Supper $8.
That's all right, mate. We'll touch on Kerman Rock later in the program. Who wins?
Thanks, Toby.
That's all right.
So yeah, the tough, honest horse that is Filthy Habits, it knocked me off. Goes to the front. Tiff's Lad and Buckeye Bullet sit off it. Do you agree with that map, Toby?
Yeah. Look, I'm not keen to get involved in the stayers on the bog track. Not unless I wanted to back anything at real value. I reckon I might have gone 2 starts too early with Candlelight Supper. This looks like it'll be even wetter than that day, and she finally showed something last start, running a good second to Iowa with Emerald Trader just in behind her. I think they were equal runs, but she is a longer price here. I suppose that's, again, a result of SPs. And she's a bit more trustworthy once she hits form than Emerald Trader, who is a perennial tease. He's your favourite. Look, he can win if he does it all right, which he more than likely won't. Filthy Habits will run another tough, honest race. First go back at the staying trips in a couple of starts, but he might be looking for it now. Probably look for him next week and the week after, when he probably starts 3 weeks in a row again. Queen of Jerusalem's going well, but Barrier 1 on the day might be sticky. And look, I thought even though she didn't get everything go her way last start, I thought she was still entitled to, well, at least hold out wicked cool from behind her. So she might just be coming to the end of her run of form.
I just realised John Allen's over there for the weekend. Can you blokes keep him, please?
We tried last time. Doesn't stay long. He came over, had one right at Northam on $1.40 chance and got beat by 100 to 1 shot.
Standard. It was probably in a tight photo finish as well. Just got to beat. Kev, what do you like in this race, if anything?
Look, to be honest, I think it's a race between Emerald Trader and Filthy Habits. I think you know what you're going to get with both of them.
A tough, honest campaigner versus a quirky, untrustworthy
mate. They're going to be at opposite ends of the field. We've touched on it before. Filthy Habits is as tough as you'll find over here. Sits on speed, can roll them along, can try and give a kick and hold on. Emerald Trainer, I'm going to regret saying it, but I'm keener on him. I think the wet track suits. He was awesome last start behind Ola, chopping down the margin length by length. I think with another 100, he probably wins the race. He steps up to the 2,200. Holly is a nice, composed rider. I'm actually starting to find Holly a lot from the back in the field. I think Holly probably looks to flop out the back just because that's the type of horse he is. Gets a toe into the race. He's got undeniable amounts of ability. It's just whether or not he knows that he can do it. I think he can win this. I'm going to regret saying that.
I think he can win this. I just don't know if he wants to.
One day.
Race 6 over the 1200, got a smart horse resume, but probably short of its best in terms of distance. Miss Sky High, $2.40 for Pike. Keep Attacking, $4.20. Desert Nymph and Patron of Kings, $10. And I struggled to find a leader here, Toby.
I thought the Great Hoya, even though they preferred to sit with him for the most part, I thought they'd come out looking to find a spot and potentially end up left there. Wasn't sure who ended up there with him. Maybe Keep Attacking, maybe Enchanting Sandal, Valsacina. I didn't really know. Look, Miss Sky High, that trial was absolutely anything. She was throw wide in a fast trial, let down under no pressure, and just went past them like they were stuck to the ground without her race day blinkers. Thought she might have been another one of these Grant Alana Williams where they have their second full prep, and maybe she's just more of a sprinter, or maybe not 1200, but 14, maybe a mile. Her half relation, Bergamo, while not blessed with as much ability as her, has run 2 good races in her life, and they've both been fresh at 1200, even though she profiles like a stayer. So just interesting if she might be a little bit the same. Keep Attacking, I think the market's got it right, is the danger. He was really good first up to win at 1,000 metres when I didn't have him as a 1,000-metre horse, and then last up ran second to Sentimental Bell, who's absolutely flying and is in the race after this, which we'll touch on. He is potentially your OSL horse, which could stand him in good stead if that's the way the day is playing and they like to ride him like that. Beyond that, Desert Nymph won a race that has produced 2 subsequent winners that have been absolutely smashed in the market, even though I didn't think the race rated that highly. Really interesting that they've both been smashed and won. Just Famous also comes through that race, ducked back to the wrong part of the track. Pike jumps off, draws 1, may not help. Not a race that I'm looking to dive right into at this stage, but could change.
Yeah, it's probably the other key yard horse on the day. So if you're interested in potentially backing it, yard on first up horses is when it's most key. So there should be a link to get Toby's yard and price assessments for Saturday with staking. Kev, you're the trial perv. Keen on this one?
Look, the trial, like Toby touched on it, it's hard to miss. It was absolutely exceptional. I think the resuming at 1,200 metres for a horse that got over the staying trips I like. I do agree with Toby, and I think they might give it I think they might be going for those 1,200 to 1,600 metre races this prep. She won her maiden over the 6 furlongs. I think she picks herself as the outright favourite. That's absolutely no problems at all with me. Like you said, I think this is a yard race. Look, Keep Attacking gets John Allen. He's an honest type. Should roll to the front. And I'm talking about the horse, not the jockey. Desert Nymph.
I didn't say anything.
Desert Nymph is also honest. Won well last.
We could hear your thoughts.
Yeah. Desert Nymph's also honest horse. Won well last start on the most biased track of the season down at Scarpside. I think Valsacina and Patron of Kings didn't quite come up last preparation, but I think they have undeniable ability on their day. Both up, first up on wet tracks is a concern. They're 2 horses that I'm happy to watch and follow out of this race. But for me, I think Miss Sky High picks herself.
Yeah. I do think John Allen is an honest jockey, boys. I just struggle to find him in tight photo finishes. He just loses his action when he's under the pump a little bit. So he's not one of mine. Race 7 over the 1,300. Sentimental Bell, $1.90. Putting a bit of a picket fence together. Race Strike, $5.50. Boredom Rebel, $6.50. Fleury Nero, $8. Can this just keep winning? This horse, Kev? Sentimental Bell.
Yeah, I think I might be a little bit too late to the party. I've taken it on at each of its 4 wins this prep. But look, she smashed the clock last start, and she's she's probably the most progressive horse on the card. Doesn't look like there's too much depth onto this race. Look, I don't think there's much more you can say. She probably just wins again.
Does feel that. Toby, do you agree?
Yeah, look, I think she positions up wherever she wants to be, and that should be close enough from that lower gate. Look, I thought the danger and potential value in the race, which is really weird, was maybe Multiverse, because there's not a lot of speed in this. And I thought this might be the start where he could roll to the front, loves the wet. He's very old now and probably won't be able to match it with Sentimental Belle. But I've liked I haven't minded his 2 runs back this time from back in the field, behind Storm Chaser in that high rating race, and then again behind Sentimental Belle last start. But I think he gets the advantage of potentially being your leader here, which is his role. He's never won outside of 1200, and this is 13, so it'll really test him that last 100. Look, apart from that, Brave Strike is probably your second favourite, or she is your second favourite in the market, but is it probably justified in being that, coming out of a couple of nice races? Hit the line good last start from in restricted room, but I just don't think they have what it takes to match Sentimental Belle here. I think they've really got her nailed down, going well.
Autumn Rebel seems a bit of a hole in the market to me. First up, it's going to be well short of its best, I think. And
that stable is going fucking atrocious. Good morning, D-Mac. Sorry.
He genuinely could be listening.
Yeah, sorry about it. Look, I'm waiting for
if he finds out that you spoke about him in such a manner, he may tune in just to listen and then flame you later.
Toby's going to clip this and send it to him directly.
Mitch Pateman might.
I think D-Mac's stable is going to hit form in summer. I don't know.
He's tried to.
No.
Love
trying to undo his sins.
I've chucked it in reverse. Look, I'm waiting for them to hit the form, but at the moment, I just don't think you can back them at all. Like what was that Mean Machine at the midweek?
Oh, leave it alone, Mr. Way. That's not his fault. If it would have won that race.
Come on, send it up.
Does seem very hard to beat. Another
man, some credit.
Another horse just putting a picket fence together is in race 8, Triple J, which has come up short price favourite, $2.30, Crescent City $5.50, Admiration Express 6, Upper Limits, and Starry Heights $8. I haven't done this race yet, so I don't have a map. Have you done this speed map, Toby?
No, I want Kev to go first because I know that I'm going to get to tell him he's wrong. So I'll let Kev start.
Look, from a map perspective, I don't have an opinion on it. I've never been good at maps, so I'm not even going to try.
I can help you. I know they like Breezy on Triple J, but I think he ends up in front here because there's no other speed. So
well, by this time of the day, the track's going to be absolutely cast.
Yeah, and Brad Parnham, who has a brain, will just pick whatever lane he thinks is best.
Look, you can back Triple J, but I'm taking it on. I think the 1650 is a concern for him coming up against horses that are better over ground. Admiration Express was really good last start. In behind Destiny, whilst Destiny's no world beater. I think Barrier 7, he gets the right lanes. I think Crescent City is set to improve. He's down in the weights. He's at 54 kilos.
He's more untrustworthy than Emerald Trader.
Look, I think the price about Triple J at 235. You have to probably hold some of Toby's confidence to be able to take it. Not for me.
He started 205 last start, sat OSL, and beat them anyway and wasn't stopping. Goes down in weight. They have railway plans with him. If he's not winning this at 1650, I'm pretty confident they do. If he's not winning this at 1650, throw those in the bin.
Yeah.
Look, he is progressive where the rest of them simply aren't. He's on speed. He gets through the wet. Sign me up. Pretty much.
That's comment about Brad Parnham finding the right lane. Hasn't that been the theme in the last couple of weeks in WA racing? Like
Brad
just
is
hitting the
unbelievable.
outside fence on race ones and whatnot.
Brad could possibly be our most informed rider at the moment.
Yeah, he does seem to get the lanes right.
He's unbelievable at that. Like, he's really, really good. Good morning, Bradley.
Yes.
Knocked and potted and given raps. We've done it all here. Race
Kev's
9.
Going to clip this and send it to Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would as well. Race 9, very open race over 1650. Wango Award, 550. Covert Rose, $6. Craig and Arcadia Knight, 7s, and Icebergs, $7.
And Kerman Rock, $12.
Double figures the rest. Yes, Kerman Rock.
Kerman Rock, $12.
I thought I was home there last start, but the tough, honest battle.
That's all right, mate. Just double down.
Yeah.
He'll run another. He'll go close again off that run.
I know him going to the front in this race.
I thought they would certainly begin to roll there. They probably get there. Leaves Icebergs. I think they go forward this time. OSL. From there, a few down to the inside, sort of just jockeying to pick their spots, and then you've got the two or the few white. It'd be interesting what Covert Rose does. This is probably a race with Chris Nicol drawn 6 on a horse that appreciates racing room. I think Gradius Dio has every chance of just choosing to sit 3 wide, no cover, having won from that spot last time. So it leaves a 3 wide line for a few of the horses drawn wider to tack onto. Look, this race is incredibly open. I was $6, about a $6 favourite to 90%. But in saying that, still found a few that could run that I thought were value in the race. In probably Kerman Rock, if he you've got to reproduce. It's a hard yard to catch. When they're on, they're right on. His run last start, even though he ducked in behind Filthy Habits for a while, was still really good to track him first up, no trial at 1600.
Yeah.
Finds the front here more than likely, gets through the wet. He's pretty tough when he's on. And then at the opposite end of the field, I absolutely adored Cisco Joe's trial in blinkers, and then loved his run last start in that Captain Pluto race that rated really well. It was a fair way off him, but was settled behind him in run and was really good. Getting close to 2, knocking off 2 darties, steps straight to the 1650, I think suits. 3 wide line and likely chopped up track if we make it to this point should suit. Those were the 2 that sort of stood out to me as the value in the race, but just want to see what the track's doing to this point and what the market looks like, because this feels like a market that could change very easily, given the market also has a $6 favourite.
Yeah, I'm going to go again on Kerman Rock. I thought that was a pretty good return first up. I think just fitness got it beat. It went straight past the horse on the inside and just peaked on its run. The other one that interested me was Arcadia Knight a little bit. Third up, on the blinkers on, staying at the 16 from a soft gate. I thought that might be value as well. Kev, how are you seeing it?
Look, for me, I don't think I'm going to be getting involved in this. But I'm glad Toby touched on Cisco Joe, because that was the one that sort of spiked a bit of interest for me. Obviously, he's, first up, he ran out of his skin, and that form behind Captain Pluto more than likely holds up at some point during this meeting. So, yeah, look, I think Cisco Joe's offers great value. Arcadia Knight, like you touched on, is a price again. 6 coming from the mile at Northern. Obviously, got to be a little bit questionable there coming out of a Class 3 as well. But, blinkers go on. We've touched on the stable absolutely flying. So yeah, I wouldn't shock if Arcadia Knight run a big race as well. Yeah, for me it'd be 4 and 10, but I don't have a lot of confidence in this last race.
The data coming out of that Captain Pluto Cisco Joe race is just bizarre, isn't it? They go really slow. All the horses that place come from well off the speed. There's only 2 horses that go faster than standard last 400. Captain Pluto and Cisco Joy both through 3.5 lengths quick for the last 400. It's a very strange race to try and pick apart from a data point of view. Did you have a best on the day, Kev?
Look, with the way that, like, the uncertainty about how the track's going to go, I think my best will be Ginnivan, just for the reasons mentioned. And then, this is going to hurt, but my next best is Emerald Trader.
Don't say it. Stop swearing.
Fuck, loves pain, embraces pain.
This is back-to-back week.
You're gonna feel like I did by the end of yesterday, mate.
This is back-to-back. This is back-to-back weeks where one of my best has been in a staying race. I don't know why I do it to myself, but I do.
It's a sick feeling, isn't it? Yeah.
At least Queen of Jerusalem's honest.
I don't know. That was, yeah.
Actually, that's the only way it'll be better is if she beats Emerald Trader.
Oh yeah. You know it's going to happen too. It's going to happen.
I don't really have a best, but lay Silver Eagle, and if I get the yard from Toby for Miss Sky High first up, that could potentially be chips in if that's sort of screwed down and ready to go. It might just have panels on them. So if you want to get Toby's...
I know I'm not supposed to give away my best, but just to really make Kev look like Kev look like a mug,
it's not hard.
Triple J.
I think also the best each way on the program's Arcadia Park in the first. I'm going to be playing a pretty decent 1x3 on him.
In the pay one too.
Yep, I reckon he runs first or second.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, if you want to get Toby's yard and price assessments and staking plan, there should be a link in this. And Kev pops in and chucks morals in there as well, so it's a good little room. Thanks for coming on, guys. Any
dirt this weekend, Toby?
We have Carnarvon, and then we have Broome on Tuesday.
Very exciting.
For their Ladies' Day sprint meeting.
Are they almost profitable tracks, Toby? Every time I check your room, you're putting massive bets on things and they just lob.
I love the dirt. The dirt was
great. Is it your most profitable spot?
I'm not sure. I'd have to check that, but definitely something to look at.
All right, sounds good. Good luck, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Aaron.